Okay, we live.
Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone branch in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops, and to the our contemporaries, to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, among the heathen, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning. Right? But yeah, what scripture you want to open the scripture, brother?
This is Ephesians 2:1. And you has he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. You know, because lately, especially among Israel and other camps, there has been a lot of anti-Messiah talk where they're trying to remove Yahweh Shai, which he's the only way that we're gonna get to the Father, man. That's the only way we're gonna get to the Father, you know?
First Timothy 2:5. One mediator. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This is verse 3. It says, among whom also we all had our conversations in times past in the lust of the flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. But God, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, has quickened us together with Hamashiach. By grace ye are saved. You know, so with Yahweh Shai, that's how we're gonna get saved, man. Because Yahweh Shai said it himself, I am the way, the truth, and the life. By no man, you can't get through the Father, but by me only, man. Roughly paraphrasing. You know?
God. And you know what, this is kind of like the second time around for the same events, right? Because that was when the Lord came on the scene after that 400-year period of Hellenization, and so the Lord came back on the scene and was letting the people know they were reborn again. They he was basically waking them up out of their dead state, and now this happening again with Ezekiel the 37th chapter, with the coming together of the northern and the southern kingdom, actually fulfilling prophecy. Unlike them little hatters who have fulfilled no prophecy, except for the prophecy of claiming the heritage and the land of the people, of the true people of the Bible. Man.
That's right.
All right, that's all they've done. You know, and I've been on this subject all week, and you know what? And through the Spirit, Apostle Tahar been on it as well, man. All right, and what they like to do, I've been reading that book, the History of the Jews by Henrik Gratz, 1893, volume 2, and that book is condemning to them, and it's so condemning to them. There's so much information in there, and what I've realized that what they've made a doctrine. All right, somebody get Obadiah. What they've made a doctrine. They've made a doctrine out of John Hyrcanus. First, they don't want to talk about the Apocrypha as if the Maccabees never existed. All right, but yet they celebrate Hanukkah. Well, guess what? The history of Hanukkah is found in the Apocrypha. It's not even found in the rest of the Bible. It's found in the portion of the Bible which was the Apocrypha. All right. So I mean, they did so much stuff, man. They have to remove that Apocrypha. The Apocrypha is basically that file of evidence that's brought in and put on the desk, and the person was real bold until they open up that file. They saw how much evidence that you had against them, and and so that's what the Apocrypha was, man. Because they were able to manipulate, by pulling it out the Bible. What they did was they tried to take the rest of the Bible and universalize it. All right, and you can't, and now we understand why modern day Christians do the same thing, right? Because they've been taught to do so. Because with the Apocrypha left in place, you can't universalize the Bible. You can't do it. All right, it just can't be done. But going back to that John Hyrcanus, what they're trying to do is make the event of when John Hyrcanus took over battled it out. He was fighting He was fighting with the Idumeans, and I forget the other group that he was fighting with. I think the Samaritans. He was fighting with Samaritans and Idumeans, right? And he destroyed 2 Idumean forts. One of them was called Marissa. I forget the name of the other one. And then all the Edomites that didn't die, all right, that were left alive, they were forced to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And they take this event and they say that he forced them to follow Judaism. No, there was no such thing as Judaism. So what he's doing, he's taking a modern day term, pretty much a modern term, a couple hundred years old, or a couple centuries old, roughly, all right, and trying to apply it to events that took place over 1,000 years ago, and that's simply not true. All right, the Maccabees they didn't follow Judaism. They followed the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, they followed the Bible, man, the Torah and the Tanakh. Okay, and so they try to take this event of John Hyrcanus, and they try to say that fulfilled the elder serving the younger, when the Edomites were brought under subjection and were forced to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and they try to say that was it. No, man. No. What the apostle did was he looked up. He went into Obadiah and he started reading the commentaries that all these different preachers and pastors have on the book of Obadiah, and all of them were in agreement. All right, for the most part, they were saying that when the Edomites get destroyed, it's by the house of Israel in the whole house. All right, meaning the stick of Joseph, all right, joined unto the stick of Judah, man. Point blank, period. Go ahead, bring it out, brother.
Micah chapter
whatever y'all got.
Micah chapter 5, verse 7. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from the Lord.
Yep. And so basically, if you don't understand what dew is, all right, when the grass is wet overnight, people go walking through the park, all right, and it haven't really rained, but you walk through the park and the grass is wet and your shoes get wet, all right, that's because the grass is wet. That's the dew. The dew covers everything, man. It's from moisture in the air, all right? So that means Judah gonna be over on everything. And guess what? The rest of the tribes too. Go ahead.
As the showers upon the grass that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men, is the point. And the remnant of Jacob.
See? It said the remnant of Jacob. That's all the tribes, man. Go.
And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles. That's the natural Gentile.
The other nations.
In the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest.
Yep. So you see what a lion does to the other beasts in the forest. They're gonna be thrashing the heathen, man. Right. All right. There's an old saying like white on rice. All right. Right. That's how they're gonna be on your ass, man. Just can't get it off you. All right. Go ahead.
As a young lion among the flocks of sheep.
As a young lion, man. You know, just start watching some of these nature channels and see how cruel nature is, man. And see how vicious lions are when they attack, man. All right? That's nothing more vicious, man, than the attack of a lion, man. All right? I seen a lion pull a damn crocodile out of the damn water, man. Damn. You know? Go ahead, brother.
This is Ezekiel.
Yeah, you know, he wasn't like in the water with him, but how he on the edge, you know? Leopards too, I've seen leopards do it. Snatch them, what they call them, caiman, alligator, or caiman, whatever. You know? Snatch them damn gators right out the water, man.
It says, it's a little bit more. Who, if he go through, both tread of down and tear up in pieces, and none can deliver.
There you go, man. So this hasn't happened yet. This is a future prophecy. All right? And so they try to say that when the Idumeans became Jewish, so there's no more that was done already. That's one of the doctrines they teach, man. I was like, wow, between what I read and what he read, I was like, damn, they're actually teaching this shit. Yeah. that's one of the doctrines that they teach it, man. They're saying that when John Hyrcanus, as if every Edomite, if Edom was all there and only there and nowhere else, all right? So those Edomites that converted to, or didn't convert, but basically was forced by the edge of a sword, you know, the same way a lot of Jake became Muslim, all right? When a lot of Jake became Muslim at the edge of a sword, man. Ishmael didn't give them a choice. It was convert or die, all right? And some chose death, but the majority of them, when they saw their boys getting put to death, getting ran through with swords and spears, it was like, okay, Allah Akbar, it's cool, all right? Go ahead, brother.
It's Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea.
All Idumea.
Which have appointed my land into their possession.
So, and that prophecy has happened. See? They don't want to talk about that. That prophecy we're living out now. That prophecy is in effect right now, man. Somebody go to the same book, go to 35 and 15. He's in 36 and 5. Read.
It says,
matter of fact, go up to verse 2 and then come back to that. I just did a video on that. Right? Because they played the clip. Brother put in the video, as I mentioned it, and he put a clip of the video, and then I turned around, did part 2, and used the clip. And it's a clip of Eddie Murphy from Coming to America when he played Saul, the Jewish guy. Remember the old guys that were all hanging outside the They were all hanging out inside the barbershop, and they had the one Jewish cat hanging out with them. All right, and he told the joke about the spoon, and he was like, aha, aha, and then he started laughing, and everybody just looked at him because the shit wasn't funny. All right. Go ahead,
It's Ezekiel 36, verse 2. Thus said the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, aha.
Yep, and that is a common saying to this day among the Jewish. They still use that term, especially when they telling jokes. All right, go ahead.
Even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
And what is the most ancient and highest place on the planet? The land of Israel, Jerusalem, right? And it's in their possession. The Bible said that the Idumeans, the Edomites, will have possession of Israel, all right, in the last days. And that is going to be taken from them by the Lord, and he's going to use both Judah and Ephraim, all right, representing the northern and the southern kingdom, when I say that, to do it by the hand of my people Israel. Go ahead, brother.
This is Ezekiel 25 and 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel.
Right, and then they try to say to the Edomite, this has not happened. If this had happened, there'd be movies about it. There'd be relics. There'll be museum displays and all sorts of shit. All right, you make movies about the Titanic and everything else. A whole, especially the way that they push the Holocaust. All right, so, and all the money that's been made off of it. All right, hey, it is what it is. So if you had a whole race of people, millions upon millions, that were completely exterminated, there'll be a time, a place, relics, images, statues, bones, weapons. There'll be tons of evidence of it, man. And they're trying to make a whole race of people, millions upon millions of people, just be gone from the face of the earth. And that's not, you know, hell, even the CSI couldn't find it. All right, go ahead, brother.
It says, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God.
See, so, you know, they're going to know the vengeance. How many of y'all seen the video that was put in orders with the young Turks going off on Esau, Edom, calling them savages?
I seen that.
That was truly amazing, man. All right? The way that they came against you know, Esau, Edom, and just laid it out there, man. All right, and then you notice she said, she didn't say CRT, which they like to say critical race theory. She said, you don't want to teach American history because the savagery of your murders is your history. But you don't want your children, am I wicked because I was born white? Little kids coming home asking their parents saying, yes, and you're not white, you're Edomites. Yes, little Sally. Yes, little Tommy. All right?
Same devil coming back, man. Same damn devil.
Yeah, this one woman, she's crying before a council of people. My 6-year-old asked me, Mom, am I born wicked because I was born white?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
She should have just been honest and said, yes, baby. We are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. All right?
When you walk downtown, I know you probably see it. You got a statue of Josiah that's the size of a football.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you
The
got
founder of this great city in Babylon, one of the greatest cities in the world, man. This is, matter of fact, in the top 5 places of destinations in the world, Chicago's one of them. For the whole world, the top 5, Chicago is one of the top destinations, man. And this city was founded by a so-called black man. But yet, he's got a statue, like he said, the size of a football.
you got murals in Joliet, and you got all these masons, and one thing about Chicago, you got all these murals where they just blatantly show you how they killing Gad, and that shit is huge.
Oh yeah, and think about it. Right where the DuSable little football statue sits, it's sitting right at where Fort Antonia. I mean, not Fort Antonia, but Fort Dearborn sit. That whole bridge right there. What you talking about? That whole bridge, both sides, that whole area. That was Fort Dearborn. All right, it's set right there on the river, and if you look, they got a gigantic. That whole, when you look up, man, it's a damn, the statue almost as tall as the damn train station, man. They got the Edomite standing there with the sword in his hand, you know, all the Gadites on the ground dead, this one Edomite, they right.
Pregnant woman crying.
Right, and the chick holding his leg, and then it's talking about how these brave men and women fought to the death to the last woman and child to defend Fort Dearborn, and Fort Dearborn fell. You know what? The Gadites, man, it probably was the Illini or the Iroquois, all right, laid waste to them. It killed them all, man. Yeah, and much deserves deaths, all right, and I'm sure they took scalps and everything else, man, all right, but because they deserved it, because this was their land, their home in the first damn place, all right? So you always want to, you know, look, because they were talking about at what's his name, Albury, the dude who just got killed by them 3 Edomite savages, by them 3 Idumean savages, all right? And the woman, the damn lawyer was trying to defend them and make mockery and try to demonize the victim. And the dude got upset. He went off on him and told, your whole history is full of savagery, man. How do you think we got America? With complete savagery, and now all of a sudden you're this upscale, proper people, man. You're the sons and daughters of murderers and rapists and thieves, and you benefited from their actions still to this day. Go ahead, brother.
The book of Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cups of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory.
Right, so that's shameful spewing. So, like the woman said, man, what's her name? McAdoo, the little fine broad on the Young Turks. She said, so you're ashamed of teaching American history because all that hanging and murdering and like the dude said, what he said, you keep calling these people savages when they're the victims of your savagery. They're the victims of your savagery. Yeah. So if they do turn around and kill a few of you, good.
And that's always been their biggest fear, is the fact that, and that's why they looked at us the way they do, and you know, the old ladies cross the street,
because they know they deserve
all that. Because they know if the shoes was reversed, then they would have been the went off and went there.
Big did. Hey, even he was joking that movie Django.
Exactly.
Leonardo DiCaprio said he was sitting his own respect, man. And it would have took him years to do it. He would have just did it in the action. So that's what they fear.
Yeah.
Retribution. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He talked about how he gave him a shave every day.
Every day with a straight razor. But that's what their problem is. That's what it is. And now, like I said,
Well, he also didn't understand too that it was prophecy.
exactly.
All right. You know, you have to wait until Judah is riled up.
Exactly.
And guess what? We're coming into that
That's
time
that time.
because they're getting riled up. I just watched a clip where they were playing, some teenage girls were playing basketball, and the one Jake, she was a big ass. You know how big these damn Judites be, big ass overweight broad. She sucker punched a little Edomite, gave her a concussion.
Damn.
She hit her that hard. She hit her from behind when she couldn't see, and she was out on her feet.
House on the floor.
So yeah, so her head hit the floor on top of it. You know, you fall when you unconscious, man. You just go down.
Right.
Right. She was like boom, boom. The hit on the floor was even harder, man.
Right.
And I've done that to people in the street. You know, lay their ass out and they hit the concrete. First time I did it, it scared me. I was like, shit. I think I just killed this dude.
Right.
All right. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. Consider the work of the Most High. Who can make that straight, which has made crooked? And that's Esau's whole role, to be nothing but wicked. You know, that's in their DNA.
That's
you
what
know?
he was created for. That's what he was created. You're right. That's what he was created. So you're gonna take something that Yahweh by Yahweh Shah created to be wicked, evil, and destructive, and then you gonna give him a good. You gonna give him a good report. You gonna give him a good report. You gonna say he's decent and clean. He was designed. It's like shrimp. He's there to clean up shit. How you gonna?
They put him on the pedestal.
How you gonna put that on a pedestal?
Hey, scripture say you can't make a crooked thing straight.
Right,
That's your job.
Yeah, you can't put makeup on a pig and make it pretty, man.
Right.
Sorry, just ain't. It's just a pig with makeup. You know. Go ahead, brother.
This the back of the elders talking about. This is the prophecy being fulfilled right now. It's Sirach 41 and 7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake.
And that's those ones with all that what they call in white guilt.
Yeah.
That's that portion of Esau Edom. You got the white guilt portion, and then you got the fuck them niggas and spiggers kill them all portion. And they going to war with each other. All right, that's why you had McAdoo on there. Well, she might be a damn Jake, you know. Going nuts on her, right along with the other dude he's a heathen. But he was, he was going in on Esau Edom, man. All right, which makes you think about when it says all the hand of the wicked, man. That's talking about the other nations. Somebody want to grab that, man. So it's not just gonna be us, man. Because once the green light, once the, hey, look, man, now there's a new strain, all right? You know, so who knows what's gonna happen with the C-19 stuff now and all the all that stuff. Who knows where it's gonna go now? What's the purpose? Because now you got this new strain, and which made the markets go haywire, and the markets basically the world markets crashed yesterday. Yep. They were down 900 points. They crashed, and that means that they're getting desperate. And this digital system, the infrastructure for it is set and ready to go. So they get ready to make this thing happen. So that's gonna fulfill scripture. That's gonna fulfill prophecy. All right? And which is gonna make everything speeding up, man. It's here. All right, it's here. And this is how you know that it's all bullshit. All the stores are staying open until 11 at night and shit like that. In the midst of and now you got a new strain and the worst pandemic in the history of mankind, but yet everything bright lights and wide open. Football, basketball games, whatever, tournaments, not that, I hate, I love jiu-jitsu, but if this thing was really that dangerous, you got jiu-jitsu tournaments going on all over the damn place now. So you got all these people gathering with no mask on, all this, you know, and on close proximity of each other. And right, but all in the midst of, no, this is all about money, man. And if you can't see that, then you just blind on your feet, man.
They got over there in Australia right now. All the people that's positive for the juice, they put them in 14 camps.
There you, that's positive.
Right now, yeah.
There you go, man.
Can I say this about that? Now remember, you saw the devil. The test that he was giving out relayed false positives.
I mean, regardless of the fact, they still putting them in there.
But
So that's like a test run, but they're gonna eventually bring it over here.
Yeah, of course
See,
they are.
got the lockdown over Australia, so the fact that you taking a person
in
and
Austria
put them in
and
a
Australia.
quarantine,
Yeah.
you put them in a quarantine, tell them you gotta take them out their home, that you gotta go over here. That's
And another thing they're not talking. Another thing they're not talking about, brother, is all the. They're not talking about all the people who've been sauced up, breakthrough cases. You know, the breakthrough cases are off the charts, but they're not talking about it. You know, and then they're saying it without saying it when they're telling you that that you're gonna need new stuff, and it's like, and if you don't get the new stuff, it's like you haven't add nothing. So what was the point of taking all this other stuff that's clearly having, you know, there's a lot of injuries. We want to say too much.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
So what's the, you know, so what's the point? All right.
Trying to say this.
Yes, sir, brother.
You got professional athletes, which all of our bodies are polluted, but they more fit than us. And they still dropping dead.
All over the world. All over the world, brother. I saw that. Young athletes from teenagers in high school to pro athletes, you soccer players, and man, and I'm gonna tell you, man, those are some of the
Thank you.
Soccer players has probably the most well-conditioned athletes in the whole
Cardio.
world of sports, man.
All day.
They're some of the most well-conditioned, man. You know, because they run up and down that football-sized field all damn day long, back and forth, man. You know, I had a trainer that, you know, back. Matter of fact, we had a gym right there in Wabash years ago, right up there in the jury district, where all them fake Jews at, man. I worked with an Egyptian dude who was a former pro soccer player. He wasn't no like big time guy, nothing. He was a bench rider for the most part, but you know, he was heavy in the soccer. And I started watching it because of him. And I was like, damn, I started watching. I'm like, damn, man, these dudes are in shape.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is insane. So when you think about, you know, how much cardio they do and how well conditioned they are, there's a lot of injuries in soccer too, though. Yeah. But nevertheless, man, when you see how well conditioned they are, and to think that people like that, you know, guys in their 20s and 30s, this, you know, passing out and dropping dead, and the common denominator is that they all been, you know what, you know, there it is, man.
And then you got the state Oregon. Oregon is the most soft stuff. Yeah, they're the most affected. The state of Oregon, they got the most percentage of people being soft. They still the highest affected by it.
Now that should, you know, things that make you go,
Right.
that should make you think, man.
Right.
All right? And you know what? But Americans collectively are some of the dumbest people on the face of the earth, man.
Yes, they are.
All right? And I try to explain to them, when the CFR took control, when they came into power, man, they bought up all the media way back then, and they still own it now. So if you own the media, then you control the information that's going out. You can control how people think. You can predict what people are going to do because you've already fed them the information that you wanted them to know.
They weak in America.
All right?
Weak anyway.
Can I read you this one?
Absolutely. That's why they took so many things out of the school.
Right.
You know, they took a lot of programs and things out of the schools that would you know,
you think.
exactly,
Make you think.
or keep you prepared.
Right.
All right. No one know if everything went black right now. There are very few people who would know how to survive, man. Most of these people freeze to death, and it'd be fires everywhere because people wouldn't know how to start fires safely.
DARPA did the military.
All right, and all these damn buildings would be on fire.
That'd be the
Because people would get frustrated and try to keep warm, and they would, you know, they would fuck everything up, man.
They did a case study on that. They said the average American, outside of their food, like when this thing really happens, a lot of these people are gonna die within 3 days to a week. They lucky if they make it to a week. And that's, but I mean, hey, well, I mean, you don't learn like how the elder said. You don't learn shit. You don't know how to cultivate nothing. You don't know how to filter no water. The average American can't tell you which way east is. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's Genesis 4 and
Did somebody throw that?
I think so.
Oh, okay. No, because last week they were throwing shit from up there off the train.
It's Genesis 4 and 13. It says, and Cain said unto the Lord, Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Again, that sucker spirit after he slew his brother. It says, behold, thou hast driven me out of the earth, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
And see, that's what's going on. This is why Idumeans, all right, because that's who this man became. All right, he came back as Esau, and well, there you go. With these Idumeans, that's why all these changes to the Bible, all these changes in doctrines, all this changing of the meaning of words, newspeak, they've done all these things to hide themselves. All right, but they can't hide themselves anymore. Somebody, more than that.
It says, and the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And to this day, that's why you Edomites walk around with that protection. You got the hedge.
They got that hedge, but guess what? It's starting to be removed. See, that was that Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Somebody can grab that. The curses are they done creeped up on your ass, man, like Chucky. All right? They done creeped up on you like Chucky, man, and they ain't, you know. Somebody just telling me that they was watching Chucky, and how he stabbed a dude. He didn't want to kill that dude. Then he was like, you ugly, so I'm gonna kill you anyway. He didn't like the dude, some shit like that. That's Esau, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he says Chucky was killing somebody, and he cut somebody and was like, oh shit, you're not the dude I want to kill. Well, but you ugly, so I'm gonna kill you. So, you know? Go ahead, bro.
This is Obadiah.
That one first.
Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
So so how? Through the Holy Scriptures, man. Filtering them through the Holy Scriptures. Luke 8:17. Somebody get that Deuteronomy while they get it.
Deuteronomy 30 and 7. It says, and the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which have persecuted thee.
Right, and like he read that shameful spewing upon their glory. See, that's part of the curses falling upon you. You know, your history being shameful, right? Because the truth be said, our history was glorious until we came into America, all right? And then even among this place, we thrived and we built up better than he did. But then he put policy into place and destroyed us, all right? Yeah. That's how you know that Jacob truly is the salt of the earth, when you can build up within your enemies' land and actually outdo him. Yeah. You know, I was watching a video that one of the brothers from New York, from the main camp, put up, and it was a short. He was in the video. It shows you an Ephraimite at the range, you know, firing his weapon real tactically.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he changed the clips, and he dropped the rifle and came out with his sidearm and bam, 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 and changed the clips, and you can see Esau kind of like they was worried, man. It's like they got, you know, that dancing back and forth, that uncomfortable old shit. They, you know, because they were paying attention to him. All these people on the firing line. But they focusing on this Ephraimite, man. Because in their mind, it's like, damn, he ain't supposed to be able to shoot like that. Because it's like, shit, last thing we need is for him to go back and you know, go back to the barrio and teach all the homies. Right? They were worried about this dude, man.
That's what they put in the caption. They said, oh shit, we got a problem.
Yeah.
We got a problem.
Yeah, it was like, oh shit, man. They said, we got a problem here. Right. So this dude gonna go back to the barrio, teach all the homies, man, teach all the essays. His ass is done, man.
That's one of the oldest, that's one of the oldest tricks of Esau, because
and Jake was getting down too, man. If you saw the clip,
because even in Babylonian captivity, They took the chief men of Israel, man. Daniel and them, and the king took them to himself.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, he was using them to his benefit.
Yeah.
So he thought.
Yeah.
Luke 8 and 17. For nothing is secret that should not be made manifest, neither anything hid that should not be known and come abroad.
There it is, man. So everything you swept under the rug, everything you tried to put behind the wall and put plywood over it, it's all coming out, man. It's all coming out. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Jeremiah 13 and 26. Therefore will I discover thy skirts upon thy face, that thy shame may appear.
Hey, that's a beautiful. That's how they call John Wayne Gacy gay ass. All right? Because what did he do? That snitch. His shame appeared, man. Because he had killed so many people, all them young boys and young men, right? Because he was an old weird, you know, sodomite dude. And he buried all them people in his house and in his yard in shallow graves. And that stench started coming up. And everybody was like, God damn, what the hell is that? You know, obviously, yeah, man. And it was then basically they follow your nose. They followed the fuck. Start digging. They was like, what the fuck? They opened his door like, what the fuck? You know? And all of the canned bodies, they weren't buried deep enough. So the smell was coming up. And they just started finding body after body. Somebody look up John Wayne Gacy, see how many victims he had. Bring out whatever scripture you was about. You finish the one scripture you was about.
It's the book.
And see, the same way John Wayne Gacy was discovered, all this history of all this savagery that was done by the so-called white man to both the northern and southern kingdom, all of it's coming out now, man. I never knew about the 700 Pequod, the 700, how many was it?
33. Does it say 33 plus?
33
Shit.
plus, man.
That's fucking crazy.
Right? Oh yeah, because he ain't right. If they're right, so they just said 33 plus. It just got so shameful and embarrassing. Why? Because he's a savage. So that white Christian terrorist, they love to say black Hebrew Israelite. You know, hey, matter of fact, man, we don't really look all that black up here.
Right.
All right, but nevertheless, but that white Christian terrorist, man, 33 plus. That's just one guy.
There wasn't no cameras back then like that.
I had something real quick. Yeah. You had something? Go ahead.
This is John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. They come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly.
There you go, man. He come nothing but to steal, but then to kill, man. All right, that's what he did, and the Lord came so that life could be more abundantly. But Esau came so that he could have the abundance. But the way he got it was through savagery. All right, calling somebody else a savage when he's the savage, man.
Genesis.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Genesis chapter 27. I start at verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
And that's why he got the fatness of the earth. That's why he's got all the $1 million condos in the sky.
Everything
He live in all the best places, man. You know, and all the different little coastal cities with white beaches in Florida. All them little islands that sits off the coast of America, off the in the Gulf, near the Gulf of Mexico, all up in the off the south, off the Carolinas. They got them little islands that sit off, just off the mainland. And you go to the islands, man, it's like 5-story, 15-room, 30-room houses and shit. Just they got palaces, man. All right.
Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by thy sword, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so Esau inquired of his father Isaac of his blessing, because Jacob supplanted Esau for the firstborn birthright, which is the inheritance, man. All right. It says, by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, being Jacob. And it shall come to pass that when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So that's how they got the rulership right now. That's how they get power right now.
And they use that sword. in the most violent, savage way. Everything that they have, they got through rape, robbery, and murder, through savagery. Point blank period. Chase Bank, their churches, their schools, Latin High School, Trader Joe's, Starbucks, all right, Stan's Donuts, the CTA, everything that they have, Jewels, everything that they have was gotten through savagery. Point blank period. All of it goes back to blood money, to stolen land, all right, stolen people, enslaved and murdered people. Go ahead, brother.
To back the brother up in this, what he brought out in that John 10:10, it says that the thief coming not to, but to steal, kill, and destroy. This is from the book of People's History of the United States. It says, and this is them speaking. It says, our work was to exasperate, ravage, kill, mangle, and destroy. Small wonder then if they tried to kill one of us now and then. The admiral, it is true, was blind as those who came after him, and he was so anxious to please the king that he committed irreparable crimes against the Indians, which were the northern tribes, which are right here.
And Indian means savage. No, and they knew that we were the Israelites, man. They knew it. They knew it. Go ahead. Some more to that.
It says, Las Casas tells how the Spaniards grew more conceited every day.
This is Bartholomew de las Casas.
Yup.
All right.
It says, and after a while refused to walk any distance. They rode the back of the Indians if they were in a hurry, or were carried on hammocks by Indians running in relays. In this case, they also had Indians carry large leaves to shade them from the sun, and others to fan them with goose wings. Total control led to total cruelty.
So they had Jake walking like this.
Right.
And if he slowed down, they probably would beat him.
Yeah.
All right?
A lot of you niggas know the truth about that Thanksgiving, and y'all still celebrated that bullshit.
What you gonna be right? And you got a lot of Northern Kingdom that are finally in rebellion against it. You know, calling it Indigenous Day and that whole sort of thing. A happy Thanksgiving, happy Murder Day, whatever, man. All right. But what's really disturbing is Northern Kingdom that still celebrate it, man. And I know they've heard. I know they've seen this. They've heard it, man. All right? Because around the time that BLM shit was happening, they were tearing down all those statues of Columbus all over the place, man. At the same time. Go ahead, brother.
It says, the Spaniards thought nothing of knifing Indians by 10s and 20s, and of cutting slices off of them to test the sharpness of their blades.
Just to test the sharpness of their blades.
Man.
Wow.
It says, Las Casas tells how two of these so-called Christians met two Indian boys one day, each carrying a parrot. They took the parrots and for fun beheaded the boys.
They got so brutal that before Esau would come, they were off themselves.
Yeah. Because they seen and heard of the cruelty, so they were just, well, you know what, I'd rather just die by my own hand than die cruelty painfully at the hands of these people. As you know, we talked about that lie, which was the story of Pocahontas, that Disney made millions off. Matter of fact, somebody look that up, see if you can find it. Probably shot how much money was made off Pocahontas. What's Pocahontas' net worth? All right, because the story is a fabrication. Right? Because it was all a lie, a trickery to get Northern Kingdom women to romanticize and love 300 and what? Wait a minute, domestic, worldwide, 347 million.
Shit.
Damn. All right? 347 million were made off Pocahontas, man. All right? That's ridiculous, man. And pushing that lie. And so you got young Northern Kingdom girls looking at it and wanting to grow up and be with an Edomite, man. Because they thinking that this is real. No, that wasn't real, man. Because what you don't know is that John Smith, when he came, he murdered Pocahontas' husband, murdered her son, kidnapped and raped her, all right, and then took her to a foreign land against her will. All right, so he committed adultery because she was already married. So he put her husband to the sword, put her young son to the sword. I think her son was about 4 or 5. Right? Then he kidnapped her and took her overseas, where and impregnated her. All right, when she died, ended up dying young. All right. So there you go. That's what really happened. They weren't running around the forest singing and holding hands under the moonlight, you know, taking showers in the warm springs, all deep in love. That wasn't what was happening, man. All right?
So that's the critical race history they don't want to talk about?
Pretty much.
Even my bitch told me that, and she wanted me to believe it. Like, yeah, Thanksgiving was a time where the Indians and the natives shook hands. I'm like, yeah, they shook hands and somebody got a sword in their back. It was some chains on their neck. Hey, and you Spaniard, the tribe of Tarshish, you are some of the most prideful motherfuckers on this earth. And then, like, what's crazy is you just don't want to acknowledge you use your sword to get it.
Yeah, they want to be right, because when you go to Spain and you look at all those beautiful buildings and all that wonderful work that they've done, hey, that was left there by the Moors and the Israelites, man. All right? Jake ruled Spain for almost 700 years, man. And Europe in a whole for 1,000, man. So in Florence and all those beautiful, gigantic, all those beautiful palaces and stuff over there, that's why they don't build that way anymore. That's why when you look at the way the castles that were built, they weren't carved perfect stones like this. Yeah. Because all those people that built those castles got exterminated, sent into slavery, or pushed out of Europe. So that's why when you look at the castles, they don't look the same as the way the Idumean builders look with the pillars and shit. They're built differently. Because Jake built all those castles, man, that are in Scotland, Ireland, and Britain. Those were built by so-called black men. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees 2 and 10. One nation had not a part in her kingdom and gotten over her spoils. You know, hey, every kingdom, has, like the elder started off earlier, you know, every heathen has benefited from, you know, the nation of Israel being in captivity. They got richer while we just stayed oppressed, man.
Yeah. That is pretty much what happened, just like that.
Proverbs 10 and 6, it says, blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Everything these Edomites ever came with was bullshit, man. They came with lies and swords.
It says back in the book, it says the Puritans also appealed to the Bible. They would use Psalms 2 and 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
So they're taking our Bible and using our own book against us.
It says, and to justify their use of force to take the land, they cited Romans 13 and 2.
Ooh, and you know they so full of shit because they knew that these were the Israelites. That's been proven. The evidence is there. They knew that these were the Israelites.
Because that's how they got to this place. They had the Hebrew interpreters. That's how Columbus found this place, man. And so, hey, let these motherfuckers tell it. They thought the world was flat.
Yeah, he came. Matter of fact, Cristobal Colon, aka Christopher Columbus, he came over with 5 Hebrew interpreters, and you can find the breakdown of that in 1492 in Ronald Sanders' Lost Tribes in Promised Land, which that book happens to go for 10 grand right about now, brand new, hardcover. Right? You might be able to find a used copy, a soft cover. I got a soft cover. I bought it about 12, 13 years ago. I bought it for like 30 bucks, right? But that book is worth 10 grand. Matter of fact, for a couple years, the cheapest I saw was $2,000. That was the cheapest. So there's a lot of information. There's a lot of books, and that whole series of because I believe Shatia, he don't have a whole series. I think he's missing one. I think it's 6 books in that History of the Jews series by Henry Gratz from 1893. I got volume 2. All right, but which is basically the only one you really need, because that's got all the good stuff in it. Be honest with you. Yeah, because I done made probably about 10, 15 videos off about 3 pages.
Damn.
Over the years, just from that one book. I ain't even got through the book, man. It's just so, it's like, damn, when you start reading it, man, it's
all this shit jump out at you.
Yeah.
It says, the memory of the just is blessed. They go into these scriptures and you find out who we are. It says, hey, our future is blessed. But it says, but the name of the wicked shall rot. Yes. No good for you Edomites, man. It ain't looking good this month.
Yeah.
It ain't looking good.
Yeah, this really could be it, man. That dark winter, is a lot of shit on the table, a lot of stuff happening, man. And I've said it many a times, man, it's gonna be bodies on the ground like these leaves. All right? You're gonna be just stepping over. That day is coming, man. That day is soon. So because everything's dead, man. I'm gonna tell you, everything's lively today, but on Thanksgiving and yesterday, it was completely dead.
Oh, down here, yeah, I do.
Because normally it's lively, even on Thanksgiving, because people would be out, you know. They would be out. They would be out after hours. You know, they would come out the clubs and the bars and stuff like that. They would come to the movies. It was just completely dead, man. All right, the mirth is gone from this place.
I seen a post on social media that said these last couple of years, these holidays have been depressing. You know, so this is Isaiah 24:11. There's a crying for wine in the streets, all joy. Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone.
COVID, bro, look, hey, it's done, man. America is not the same place. It ain't bouncing back. Hey, you go into these stores, hey, be prepared to spend all of your paycheck to get nothing, man.
Pretty much, man. And and I'm gonna tell you, the perishables, a lot of the fruits and berries, I do a lot of berries, man. Blackberries, blueberries and things like that, because they're good for your blood. And most of them, they're coming to the stores rotten. Yeah. They're rotten, and anyone working in the produce section, they'll see it for themselves.
Yeah. I work in Jewel and I work in the produce section, man. Most of the fruit that come in, it all comes in rotten. You know, you'll open a box of lemon, it'll be a lemon where it's like a puff of smoke, man. You know, because it's so rotten.
Wow. Because they didn't set no containers for too long. Right? That's what's happening. You know, you lift them up and look at the bottom, and all the white, the fungus is all over. It's a damn science experiment at that point.
Right.
You know, you might be able to preserve some seeds, but that's about it.
I think they said they're running so short on aluminum, they can't keep up with and that's on purpose, but they can't keep up with the demand for the canned goods. So your regular shit perishes in like 3 days with no electricity.
And see, they don't want people to be able to buy and store canned goods. So it's just like I was watching Canadian Prepper, and he's probably the best info when it comes to the prepping thing. The Canadian Prepper dude, and even in his video, they show him with a backpack on, with fire, the buses on fire, the cars on fire, and all the city on fire, and him running down the street headed to the woods. You know, with his backpack and his firearms. Right?
It ain't gonna be like
so
that.
That's in the opening of his videos now. Right? So he knows it's coming. Cover up a little bit. But he knows it's coming, man. He knows it's coming. All right, but and he made a statement that what he say? For many of you people, if you're just now starting to prep, it's already too late for you. All right, and that was a couple weeks ago. You know,
Be honest.
he said if you're just starting to prep, it's already too late for you. That's what he said. He was answering questions. People were like asking him questions, and because why? Because people they trust in this place, and they think that this place is gonna go on forever and it's gonna be okay. It's getting ready to be Black Summer out here.
Right.
Families getting ready to be separated. Did any of you brothers watch those episodes of Black Summer? You see season 2? Man, season 2 went hard, man.
Every time they win.
Wow, it was just because it was deep into it at that point. And it was kind of interesting because season 1, nobody knew what was going on. It's like, the people who were figuring it out, but by the time season 2 came, people were ruthless, And it's just the same thing in The Walking Dead. It got to the point where you weren't even worried about the zombies, you were worried about the other people. All right? Because everybody wanted whatever you had. If you had shoes and coat, firearms, food, women, whatever you had, they wanted it, man. And that's how it's gonna be. You people have no idea how you're about to be in a live action horror movie. And I don't know how else to describe it. It is about to be Jacob's Trouble, which is already in the beginning stages. It's going to be a live action horror movie. Go ahead,
With
brother.
Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And them shows, hey, like the other just mentioned, The Walking Dead, Black Summer, and they got plenty of other shows, movies that show you that how people are gonna be if shit hits the fan.
What was that one with the chick was trying to travel across America and all the gangs?
Gamblers and all that. Remember?
Yeah, they're right.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
gamblers
yeah.
and all. Damn, what was that shit though? Now I see her face and I'm trying to get her name. That shit was serious, man. They had the female gang that was snipers. It was something. It's a common name that they use here in America. But it'll come to me. But go ahead. No.
Shit,
Go
ahead, brother.
Cause this week, the Lord been having a hell of a spirit on the men. This week, there was a report that a dude killed 2 sisters, man. He shot one in the head in the bathtub and went outside and domed the sister outside the crib, man.
Damn.
The Lord been putting judgment on these women, man. Then another woman, her son died a week ago. She go to visit the burial the next week, and she get killed in the same spot, man. To the elder right, man, we already in the beginning stage of people waxing cold, man. People just don't care, man. They've been looting and running up, smashing grass everywhere, man. So just imagine when it's just not
When they can't eat.
Yeah.
So you all are doing this just for simplicity's sake, but it's going to be a different spirit when it's for survival.
But the scripture said they do these things in the green tree. What they gonna do when it's
What
dry?
they gonna do when it's dry, man? All right. And that movie for you people in the audience is called The Domestics. All right. It's called The Domestics, and it was a husband and wife trying to travel to find her father, I think. And they had to drive through all these gang territories, and they were all at war with each other.
It's the book of Jeremiah 16:4. They shall die a grievous death. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be dung upon the face of the earth.
Yeah, because when things go bad, man, when it gets so bad out here, your grave is gonna become wherever you fall. Right? You watch these movies, Resident Evil, The Walking Dead, whatever it is, man. The zombies or the people that are just dead, they were dead right where they were. Nobody was there to bury. They rotted right where they were, man. Sometimes alone, sometimes in groups. All right?
It says, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven.
Yeah, the Lord promised these birds a feast, man. All right? These scavenger birds, like these damn crows and ravens, seagulls, You know them type birds that pick at the flesh of dead things? The Lord promised them a feast, man. And these birds gonna eat. They gonna get big, man.
There's been a lot of crows like coming over here lately. I just think it represents niggas gonna die.
Yeah, you're right. I remember maybe a year or two ago, there was a report about these great owls that were coming down from Canada and cold places that were making their way to America all of a sudden. All right? You know, and the owl is a bird of prey. They like, an owl is just as dangerous at night as the eagle is in the day, man. You know? The eagle is the king of birds of prey, but at night the owl is, man. Because the owl can actually hunt at night like the eagle. The owl can, from hundreds of feet away, can scope something little in the dark, go right in on that shit, man.
I remember Apostle Paul was going into that. They got that order.
That eye sound,
Yeah.
so they can see at night, man.
And owls are pretty big too.
They're huge.
Yeah.
They're a bird of prey. You know, they're ginormous. You know, they're not small birds, man.
Got that range, you can't hear it.
It's 2nd Ezra 5 and start 7. Where he says, "And the Sodomite sea shall cast out fish and make noise in the night, which ye have not known, what they shall hear the voice of. There should be confusion also in many places. Fire should be outset again. Wild beasts and chains in places. Mistress woman shall bring forth monsters." So these 2/3 ass niggas, they really ramping this shit up, man. You go downtown at night, it ain't the place you want to be anymore. These beasts, like how we talk about this influx of crows and all this, it's never been like that before. You walk around, don't go to a park, like, you know, walk in an open field, you'll see 2-3 coyotes. I used to walk to the line and see coyotes in the day. And I'd be praying like, man, all right, Lord, let me cross this field. And they ain't no small dogs, man. Them motherfuckers up to my waist, and I'm like 6 feet. So imagine when they can't eat. It says, "And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and friends shall destroy one another. Then wit shall hide itself, and that day you're not gonna be out there, man."
Yeah, and they were showing you on the news all the different coyote attacks over these last couple years, man. Snatching up people's dogs and stuff. And it won't be long before they start snatching up small children and old people. Right? It's the same thing in Florida. Because Florida, you got a problem in Florida, man. When shit get bad, that's gonna be a really bad place to be with all them damn gators. And you got them damn 30-foot pythons. And they snatching up little kids, little people, old people. You got man.
Cougars.
30, you got cougars, panthers, gators, and them 30 and them damn giant ass pythons, man. All right? Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say you got snakes coming out of people's toilet in Florida. Florida is a big ass mess.
Oh, we didn't mention that. The price of the sack is about, it's funny you say that. These people can't get that dope, and you about to see that influx of how these people about to go back to like the 80s. Because they burnt all the poppy fields, man. And they said 30% of the prescription pills out here now is now being cut with fentanyl, man.
Yeah.
So when they can't get that, and that's gonna be like somebody.
That fentanyl is highly addictive and highly poisonous. All right? That fentanyl, and it's funny too, that was a designer drug that was only for Edomites. Right? And it pretty much sealed their doom, because even if this place was to go on any longer, the Edomites would eventually, but that's not how they're gonna get wiped out. All right? But their numbers are so low to where they would be wiped out anyway. They would get bred right out of existence, especially with the amount of their women that's getting rotted out by the northern and southern kingdom, man, and the other heathens. They would be right. Because, man, everybody tagging Becky, man.
Right.
Becky love it.
Yeah, and she ain't got no problem with it. All right? Becky getting hit by everybody, man.
Back you up, because she said that's not the way Esau is going to be exterminated. It says Obadiah 1:18, "In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame."
Yep.
and the house of Esau for a stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord have spoken.
And there it is, man. That's how Esau's gonna get eliminated off the earth, man. All right, that's how it's gonna happen, and that only happens after a brutal 1,000-year slavery. But that fentanyl almost did it. Them opioids wiped them out, man. And they right before COVID hit, before that hit, all the reports came out that they had lost 40 million Edomites in a 20-year period to opioids. Yeah. 40 million, and this was their baby making age adults. So we're talking about adults that are at the age where they can have children, man. All right, 40 million of them dead, just gone. All right, so that's it.
Yeah, I just seen a commercial yesterday.
She gonna regret she chose. She on the wrong team.
I just seen a commercial yesterday on watching TV, and they got opioid commercials now, man. All right, telling you if you have an opioid addiction, you know, if you have an opioid addiction, come seek help, you know, because it's a real problem out here, man.
Maybe you know what it is because they know it's he doing that. When that crack epidemic hit, man, they was giving Jake football numbers, man. There wasn't no epidemic then. That's all we don't feel bad for people like out here, man.
Exactly.
Hey, that really the Lord set that up to take bastards out, man. You take a walk over there by Grand, that's all you see, man. That's the new heroin hotspot. And that's how you know this place is really falling. You take a walk up State Street, all you see is dope fiends.
Yes, and he was just talking about the monstrous ass niggas. Some young niggas over there whooping on the older Jake, man. All these Edomites out here, all these heathens, and they attacking their own people, man. Fucking cowards.
That's about 2/3 gotta go.
They gotta go, man.
With a vengeance.
Hey,
They gotta
Esau's
go.
gonna be that plague to take them out, man. The Lord's got the perfect movie set up, man.
No, matter of fact, somebody did Ezekiel 21. The sword of sharp. That's what's coming, man. Hey, the Lord's gonna allow Esau to get. Hey, that's part of what they say about fighting his swords and bleeding all flesh.
Oh,
Guess
Esau
what
mad
part of
too,
his
man.
sword?
He mad because he losing his kingdom and he know it. All right, he gonna use his blessing.
Yep.
His last stand.
That's it.
Cause cause he gonna have his moments. Cause Esau gonna get annihilated this time around. But before that happens, he gonna get it in, man.
Yeah.
It's the book of Ezekiel 21:9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished.
Yep.
It is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth and contemneth the rod of my son as every tree?
It says, should we then make mirth? So what type of spirit? Hey, we know what's going on, man. Hey, the Lord's allowed us to make that shield by standing in the courts of the Lord, man. But these 2/3 on the outside, that's what's coming for you, man. The Terminator, Esau, Edom. Good, man.
Exactly. They don't.
Because that gotta happen for us to get home, man.
Come on, man. And we're right, and we're the only people who are looking forward for this to happening, man. We're looking forward to this madness.
Yeah,
I'm embracing it. I'm praying for it. It said, hasten the day of the Lord, man. All right, you should be hastening the day.
You know, like I said, our people so busy searching for mirth and want to be happy in this bitch. That, like I said, you know, I'm the grumpy dude. Everybody got to come and get some equipment from me early in the morning. You know, you grumpy. You always, you don't smile a lot. You know, you don't talk. You ain't jovial. What I'm going to be jovial about, I understand my oppression. Come on, man. Go ahead.
It's the book of Acts 14:22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. And we know, like the elder was saying, that we know that we got to go through the bad in order to get to the good. You know, Esau's kingdom has to fall down. All right, all these bad things that are going to happen: the famine, the race riots, World War III, You know, tensions between nations, all those things have to happen. 2/3 of our people have to die so we can go to the kingdom of heaven. You know? And Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. You know, all is necessary, man. You know?
That tribulation too. And that's why all the praise and honor and glory goes back to Yahweh Shai, because he warned us of that tribulation. We didn't warn ourselves. We can't make it through without him, man. And for all you fuck boys that said, hey, there's no Messiah, we don't need the Lord, we gonna see you falling on this name, man. You may not even make it that far.
And a lot of them guys who say these things, who try to you know, this anti-Messiah rhetoric that they're pushing, a lot of these guys, they death is gonna be made public, man. All right. Yeah. And a lot of these guys who come against the men of the Lord, their deaths are gonna be made public too. People like you know, Vocab Malone, you know, you know, these guys who are misleading the flock, like this right. Matter of fact, have we even heard anything about him?
He's still in jail.
He's still in jail, right? Yeah, and that's something, because he was a part of that, man. And they love to run to that. And it's gotten so bad that the heathen are using it now. The Edomites are using it. They're trying to say that those black Hebrew Israelites, all they do is rape and have sex with underage girls.
That's what that
so that
dude
lie.
said.
I just been going back and forth with some TikTok bitch named @Lauren, and she has a live show, and all they do is just get on and bash the Hebrew Israelites, man. And yeah, and it's very vexing too, because I'm dedicating a lot of time to hurting her feelings with the truth and all her viewers. Because I remember I was putting stuff on her channel, and she was saying that guy Malcolm, just ignore him. Then I'm putting up scripture and history, and you know, because they're talking all this shit, and I'm like, and I'm just putting stuff up, and instead of addressing it, then that's just what it is. Like, go with all that truthful stuff, man.
Right.
You know, and we ain't trying to see no evidence. Bring it out, brother.
19:27 says, but those mine, this is Yahweh Shai speaking, but those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay before me.
Yeah, man.
Gotta
What's this dude, seed of Israel? All right, who came out of nowhere? He a straight clown. His name is the seed of Israel, but he's trying to discredit the seed of Israel.
Right.
He's saying that you have your mother and father have to be Israelites in order for you to be an Israelite. But yet he calling himself the seed of Israel.
Right.
Look, and brothers went in and did beautiful lessons, breaking it down, you know, even went beyond the Bible to a scientific level and proved it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Great lessons. And I'm gonna say it just like this. Here's my lesson and my response. All right. Jacob had 4 wives that were not Israelite women, and yet the 12 patriarchs of Israel came out of those 4 women. You dumb bastard. All right?
King David,
It's as simple as that. When we going back even before that, the beginning of Israel was with 4 women that were not Israelites. Duh. All right? It was Jacob's seed. You dumb motherfucker. Excuse my French, man. I'm tired of dumbasses, man.
I got a perfect scripture.
Wow. Then he got the nerve to name himself the seed of Israel.
Right, that's like, you must think the woman got the seed or something. Like,
He been listening to that chick with the you know, one of Polite's wives. With the glands he was talking about. That weird bitch that talked all funny. The baffling Glenda. That bitch.
Glenda. I got something for you.
Go ahead.
Numbers 24:7. He shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters.
There you go, man. You ever, and it's funny. And what did Jake call a skeet bucket? You see? It's a woman that puts seed in, man. That's her job. All right. Unfortunately, a skeet bucket is a woman who takes seed from a whole bunch of people. But you understand what we're saying. Read it again, brother.
He shall pour, Numbers 24:7. He shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters.
In many waters, man. In many different nations, many women. All right? As simple as that, man. a seed is a seed. All right, if you take an orange tree, all right, and you grow that orange in American soil, the soil being in comparison to a room, all right, you're gonna get your oranges. If you take them same seeds from those oranges and take them over to Thailand, guess what? An orange seed is gonna grow. It might even look a little different, all right, but it's still an orange seed, all right? You can take that same seed from that orange in Thailand, all right, take it over to Japan. And then you can take it from Japan and take it down to South Africa. It's still that same American orange.
Right.
It looks different in Thailand, all right? It looks different in Japan. It looks different in China, and it looks different in South Africa, but it's still the same seed. Dumbass.
It's Sirach 26 and 20. It says, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession throughout all the field, sow it with thy own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. That don't change, man. You see how the elder said that the field is the world, the woman, the earth. You know, you niggas like to say, oh, Mother Earth. That's a real actual statement.
But you know, right, you even have, you know, some of them dudes call themselves gosh. God body dudes, right. They will call their woman my earth. Yeah, my earth. All right? Well, why is he calling her his earth? Because he puts his seed in her. He plants his seed in her. So that's his earth.
Let me read the next verse. It says, so thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. The race comes through the man.
There it is, man. What's that again? That's
26.
26.
Oh, let me read the next verse.
26 and what?
21.
Man, that's heavy, man.
It says, a harlot should be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband.
And after reading all that other stuff, you're thinking about it, we talked about the skeet bucket, because she's worthless. Because if she's taking all them seeds from different people, you can't, what race is she pushing forth? She don't even know.
Right. That's why I said the Inquisition is going to be made out of these boys.
Inquisition is going to be made of your children. I just saw a video where a woman was talking shit about how people were talking shit about me because I got 6 baby daddies. But if I had 1 baby daddy, I'd only be getting this much money. But since I get this 6 baby daddies, I'm getting this much percent of 6 different people. And then she like pumping it up like she the shit.
Right.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Get you a slut.
So, like you said, the Inquisition will be made of her children. They will not take root. She will get stoned to death, man. All right? And I feel sorry for the first kid, man. All right, because you know, you can't choose who your mama and your daddy is, man. And I'm gonna tell you, what child wants to be brought into this earth out of polluted ass canal, polluted ass earth that had 6 different seeds in it, not to count all the ones in between before you even got there. You know, you all in the womb a punching bag from all these different rods and shit. Right, ain't even the rod you came from. You know, you got to deal with all these other rods. It's just messed up, man. Go ahead, brother.
This is Sirach 23 and 22. It says, thus shall they go with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth forth an heir to another. And telling you again, if a woman goes and sleeps with another man, that's another man's seed. That's whether it be an Israelite or an Edomite. It's whoever she sleeps with, that womb is that seed in her womb is the race of that man. But it can't be no war.
Right, and then so you know that kills that whole mix thing. You know, such thing as mixed. That's a modern day confusion, man. Whatever your father is, that's what you are. It doesn't matter if you look like your mother's a different people. All right, that's confusion, man. If a so-called black man lays seed in an Asian woman, the baby ain't Blasian. All right, that's retarded, man. Whatever your father is, regardless what you look like, that's what you are. So if you got a so-called black daddy and a white mama, and you happen to come out looking like your mama, you look like a white kid, people gonna know through your rhythm and through your mannerisms that, damn, man, this dude, this ain't a white guy, man. The spirit gonna tell on you.
Yeah, I was just telling I was just telling this blood. I got a cousin. He would have Edomite woman.
Right.
3 children. All them look more like the mom. Look like Edomite.
There you go, man.
You can tell by their spirit, but they still alive.
You can tell by their spirit that they are people. That's what I'm talking about, man. Absolutely.
This number is 1 in 18, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the 2nd month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names.
It didn't say mothers?
Fathers.
So, you know what? And this guy like Seed of Israel and guys like that, they got that woman-friendly doctrine because they're a bunch of simps. All right? They really a bunch of chimpanzees, and they're trying to have that woman-friendly doctrine so that they can get all their woman money. You know, they got all the GoFundMes and whatever. You know, they collecting all that money from all these women, and they know women that spend money, so they're gonna teach that woman-friendly doctrine instead of just telling the truth, man. They're trying to bring the woman up on a level where she's equal to the man, and that's not so in the Bible. A woman is not the equal to a man. A woman has her place, and a man has their place, man.
That's right.
That ain't saying that we saying that women are pieces of shit. All we're saying is that the Lord has an order of things, and He put the woman below the man, not equal to him or above him. She's below him. There's an order. All right, as simple as that, man.
And the woman's role is so goddamn important.
Very important.
And they don't look at it like it's important. They want to do what the man wants to do because they view what the man does as something so heroic and so powerful, because it is.
Modern day Hellenization, bro.
Yeah, you know?
They didn't follow these Edomites. That's that modern day Hellenization. That's that toxic feminism. All right?
What's that photo with a woman's like this?
It's I just saw it. I'm walking past Molly's. They got a image in there of that woman like that, holding her arm. That shit from World War II.
Yeah.
That was from that World War II era, which shows you that they were getting ready to do that feminist shit, and then it kicked in the 60s. All right, it kicked in hard in the 60s.
I'm about to back you up. I'm gonna reread this for you. Sirach 26. I'm gonna jump up. It says, "A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride should be counted ungodly of all."
Yep.
And there's certain women in the scriptures that are reverenced to this day, like the woman who washed Yahushua's feet, the woman who hid Ezekiel. It's all types of women that are reverenced in the scriptures.
Rahab, what's her name? Rahab?
Yeah, Rahab.
But hey, just you bringing forth back your race is a mighty thing. It said you would tower against death. We don't need this white woman to come back, but that's a mighty thing. Just being the wife is a mighty thing.
Right, and the thing is that you're an Israelite. You could have been born a heathen. So why not adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments that were laid, the foundation that was laid for you? All right, why you want to follow after the ways of the heathen? Okay? So yeah, you were born a woman, but you were born an Israelite woman. That's a difference, man. That ain't good enough for him.
I got one for you real quick. But this is a woman's role right here, man. It's a beautiful role. Titus 2 and 4 in verse 5. That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands.
And all I seen is a bunch of women running around without being attractive women, curvy women. Some of them wearing shit they have no business wearing. Advertising, getting everybody looking at you. You can't help but look at them. You're a man, right? Okay, and they weren't chaste, they weren't keepers at home, they weren't humble, none of that, man. Go ahead.
It say obedient to their own husbands.
Definitely not that, because somebody popping them women, but they out here walking around, all right? Because what they're looking for is an opportunity. Because they looking for the next big and better thing, when all women are. They all looking for the next big. They're with you now, and it's cool, all right? But they really looking for the next big and better thing.
It says that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. And a woman has her proper role. The Lord does everything decent and order, man.
Yeah, we just saw a sister, an attractive one too. Even though her spirit looked kind of weird, she might have been a tear herself. But she walked by with a tall ass Edomite. All right? And she fucked her kids up because now her kids are tears, man. And she gonna have to watch Isaiah 13, you know? You already know it, go ahead and get it. Right. Because she went and got her a 6'4", tall, blonde Edomite. And thinks she done did it. Right.
Hey, Bob Bashar, we gotta go into them words. Titus, you was in Titus, right?
Yeah, 2 and 4.
The discreet, the chas. Hey, discreet in the Greek is so far. It says a sound mind, one's senses. It says one's desire impulses self-control. So to have self-control for a woman is very important. Because I just got a Rolodex of just folly out of the scene where chicks be trying to fight their own husbands. I saw a video of a chick that pulled a gun out on her husband, bro.
I mean,
like, what the fuck?
I mean, we in Babylon now, because you know, the apostle was going into the history how men used to have chastity belts on their woman.
Damn.
So they wouldn't have sex while they was going to war.
But that's terrible.
But I mean, a woman.
The fact that you didn't even have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That make me not want to be with you.
Yeah.
That's like being with a woman that you have to wear rubber with.
Yeah.
She's not your woman. You.
That's it. Wow.
I don't want to be. That's just me.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to be with a woman I got to strap up with. Okay. It ain't even worth it to me. Go ahead.
Then you got the word chas. It's hagnos. It says to be pure, to be chas, modest, pure from every fault, clean. So to be clean.
That's the kingdom, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
We ain't getting that to the kingdom, man. So on the flip side of that, for you younger brothers who can't curb that appetite, strap up.
Yeah.
All right, just to protect yourself.
Right.
But on the flip side of that coin, what I'm saying, the whole mental mindset of it, that you got to do that. You know.
I got Isaiah 14.
Here's Isaiah 13 and 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes.
Yep, that's gonna be Miss Stain that walked by all proud with her Edomite. Go ahead.
Their houses shall be spoiled, their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the minis against them which shall not regard sin.
Right. And you know what? They walk right down there, so I'm willing to bet that they live in one of these high-rise buildings over here. All right? They probably live in one of those high-rise buildings over there.
You got money.
Yeah. And like I said, these people right here, they're on the wrong side of the river. When shit goes bad, there's nothing between them and the hood, man.
Yeah.
All this right here, there's nothing between them and the hood.
Where the Ickies at or whatever?
And Ickies is just down this State Street, so they right down there.
Right. So the hood over there, right? Okay.
Yeah. The Hickey and the low end. It's not that far away.
This is the book of Exodus 1 and 9. It says, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier than we. Come on and let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. I'm gonna skip down to verse 15 because here, you know, when our people were in the captivity of Egypt, you know, our people were just mighty, man. The more they put us oppressed, the more our people multiplied, because that's how the Lord had it. You know, the scriptures talk about be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
And Israel is as the sand of the sea; it can't be numbered.
And that's typically how in the past, how Jake handled stress was through sex. All right, but they got you so weak and fucked up on drugs and this horrible food, you know.
It says, verse 15, And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Sifra, and the name of the other Pua. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then shall she live. Because only a man, a Hebrew, a boy, all right, a male can bear seed.
Right.
You know?
And so the Egyptians had no problem putting their little mangy ass rods in the Israelite woman. Because they knew and understood that what came out of that woman at that point was an Egyptian. They understood that. That's why he said it, and that's why he said and that's why he said, if it be a male child, kill it. All right. He didn't say if it be a male child, spare it. He said if it's a male child, because a race is continued through its male children, man. Right? That's why a male child was highly regarded among men over a female child, man. Because it's not saying that you don't love your daughters, but your daughters can't keep your namesake. Right? Your daughter's gonna grow up and marry someone else, and her children are gonna be the line of her husband, somebody else's line. All right.
That's why it said in verse 10 that they let us deal with them, because they were trying to, they were trying to shorten the population of Israel. They killed out the boy because the boy bears the seed, not the woman.
Right, because that boy gonna grow up and produce more of his own. All right.
I got one for you real quick. Sirach 36:24. He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession. So your wife is a possession, man. She gonna go to whatever man dominate her. Your son will continue the legacy. He gonna start his own.
This is Sirach 30:4. Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he has left one behind him that is like himself. And that's why it's important that the lineage continues, man, because through the father, when the seed is left behind, he leaves one that is like one as to himself. Especially when we teach our children these laws, statutes, and commandments, when they're brought up through this word,
Yeah, it is, man.
The elder call for Sirach 36:24. He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession.
So what can your possession then supposed to be said against you? Okay? You want to get up and move and go somewhere else? You pack her like you pack your motherfucking equipment and whatnot and come on. And that was Lot's wife's problem. They were told to get the fuck up out of there and this, that, and the other. And Lot was leaving a land where he had a lot of wealth and the bitch couldn't even leave it. She looked back, turned into a pillar of salt behind her. She was salty.
Hell no.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. See, these women want comfort. And they do all their wild at all costs for that comfort. I was telling Ra a situation where, female come in and work, one of the guys, because he know me, for about 4 or 5 years out there in the thing, and this was before, the silence was on, so I broke down some things for him. So he came to me yesterday sometime, and said, I know you don't do holidays and all this other kind of stuff, the horror days and shit, this, that, and the other. So what you think of this Thanksgiving shit? And I told him, I said, y'all wishing each other happy Thanksgiving and all this other kind of stuff. I said, that would be like a Native American walking up to you and saying, happy slavery, nigga. Happy slavery, you enjoying your slavery, nigga? They were like, whoa, it caught him with such a rush that he blinked hard, his eyes got big, he swallowed.
It hit him.
Exactly.
He actually got it.
He did get it. He actually did get it. He got it. He was like, damn, when you put it like that, and now that I wrap my mind around it, you're right. Say that same shit to a female, guess what this bitch said? Don't blow my vibe. Bitch, don't blow my vibe. Yep. You know what I'm saying? The bitch don't blow my vibe. A towel to run into.
Look, man, about 10 years ago, on a hot summer day, I was walking under the bridge on Lake Street. And Lake, you know, right under I don't even know why I was over there. And near where Lake and Jefferson is. You know, when you cross it over, and it was early in the morning, don't even remember why I was there. It was about 7 or 8 in the morning. Right? And I never forget it because I remember wishing I had my camera on there. Because back then, you know, we didn't have the fancy phones with all the cameras. We just had the actual cameras. All right? The cameras on the phones didn't really get high-tech until a couple years later. But I remember walking under that bridge and I saw all these different homeless people. And it was hot. And all the homeless people, some of them were couples. All right? And the women that were, and all the women were laid up next to their dude, and they were sleeping. I'm walking through there, I'm like, man, I ain't know this many homeless people were under this viaduct, and they had like the little cubby holes, and they all were up into the cubby holes, right? And then I saw a white woman, a couple of white women actually, that was homeless with Jake, and they were laying out there, and they sleeping next to their men, all right? The one chick was young, and she was sitting there wide awake, scared as hell. And she had a stack of books and everything was folded up neat. And she looked like she was fresh, still in college. So this was a young chick that was probably in her early 20s, late teens, early 20s, who was freshly homeless. And she didn't have a man. And her look was completely different from the women who had men.
Right.
Because any man could have just stepped up into her cubby hole and been like, it is what it is. Yeah. All right? And she knew that. And I could tell she knew that by the look on her face when I looked at her.
Defenseless.
Right. Because she was just out there. She had no cover. The other women they were cool. Because they wouldn't land next to a man. So they figured, well, if anything come at me, just got to get him first. All right?
Is it Isaiah 32?
Yeah, 32.
Yeah, come. That's it, brother.
Isaiah 32 and verse 2. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and covered from the tempest, as the rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a rock in a weary land.
Yeah, so all this boss bitch, a bad bitch, and all that other stuff, you know, it's gonna fail you. You're gonna find out that you've been bamboozled, man. You're gonna find out that you've been bamboozled. And you've been lied to. You're gonna find out the same way that these Khazarians, these small hatters, are learning and finding out that they not the people. Some of them embrace it. All right. Some of them and a lot of them know. All right. But then you got those of them who are so proud and so arrogant, and they've benefited so greatly from this false title that they've been carrying, and this false banner that they've been hiding behind. They don't want to let it go. All right, they don't want to let it go. All right, but what you're gonna find out is that you've been lied to, and you're not gonna have no covering, just like these women have no covering. All right.
What the elder's saying, you know, this is a situation that, like you said about these boss bitches and this, that, and other.
What if dude just on the bike and roll across the street? Man, this is crazy,
It's crazy, exactly. Motherfucker running to the car to get the back and whatnot, because he ran up on motherfucker pulled a knife. Okay?
Go ahead, brother.
But yeah, this is stupid. But yeah, like you were saying about the boss bitches, that's going to be like a Wile E. Roadrunner cartoon and shit. The bitch go think that she's standing on something, and she go look down and check the ground and see for the ground, and then she ain't gonna have shit to stand on. Okay? And all she gonna do is be in a free fall, because America's about to turn into a free fall. and she gonna be part of the three.
Wow. That's how you know that's really just pride, because these same women in society, they'll call, they need somebody. They'll say they need somebody to help them in every type of way, emotionally. They can't even think for themselves physically. That's why basically when these miseries and these calamities come, they not gonna have no defense. You know, they gonna be getting out here what they say slave, laid down. Bitch gonna get stepped on. Man.
Yeah, she gonna get laid down, all right.
But I got something. This is Sirach 3.
Fight his own.
Sirach 3 and 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Yeah. So really, all of these women are
Well, he took his dumb ass back in there.
It's a fight.
Yeah, he took his dumb ass back in there. Hey, you know.
But yeah, man.
He went and got a bat that didn't help him, man. It's a lock here, brother. Go ahead.
And that's
brother.
why the scripture speaks about how many miseries are going to come to these people because they walk in great pride. Right. And ain't nobody more prideful in this
Well, we're looking at the miseries now, man. It says this chaos is just going to continue, man. Well, you really can't see it because they all been there. You know, I mean, I can see it from my angle, but you can't. We don't give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh.
Above the ball.
I'm deaf to these niggas, man.
That's right.